I think like physically they one of the teams that can actually match us man for man, probably.
Okay, I'll take what you're saying. I've got to just make sure that. Well, I'm looking forward to watching those games and actually being able to assess like what other big forward packs are capable of. Because I mean, in the Southern Hemisphere, the teams we played this year, I mean, Argentina, like in my mind, they've been the pack that competed with us for size through the years, and
yeah,
they didn't really have it this last weekend.
No, they definitely did not. But in saying that, with the last, I don't know, the last 2-3 years,
get that fire rip roaring.
Just moving was good. Oh, so I mean, they were always known for their big scrums and things, but I mean,
look at that mother.
It's not. Yeah, it's getting there. Eh? It's getting there. They're not what they used to be. Eh? They absolutely not what they used to be. They were known for being the team with the big scrum.
Yeah,
they've gone away from that. It's more running ragas from them now. I mean, their forwards are very like into passing and like the plane. They like to take off and just run the ball.
Is there a plane? Is there a plane in the background now?
Yeah.
Can't even hear it.
Can't you hear it? That's good.
Awesome. The people back home will think you smoking something.
No chance. No, I mean, yeah. Oh, well, I can hear it, but anyway. So I mean,
weird.
they've always been labeled as the team with the big pack that can dominate scrums, but it's not been the Argentina of old. I mean, they run the ball a lot more. They love the little pass and things like that. I mean, you saw last week as well. The scrums were actually 50-50, I think, last week. But I also think the officiating could have gone both ways. I mean, it looks like it's always a guessing game in the last while where Oaks are just. It looks like a scrum's dominating or something, and then there's something wrong, or it's a drop behind, or.
Yeah, so the officiating we're referring to for anyone who does watch this is the Argentina game, SA Argentina game. When did we play? The 17th of September.
What's today? 23rd. Yeah, correct.
So I think, like, I've never, at least on memory, because I mean things just happen so quickly, I can't recall a referee, because I was giving him plaudits in the first half and saying I think he actually blew a really good game, but it felt like he blew two different styles of refereeing in the first half and then the second half. I think the ruck time for me, it was a different ball game in the second half with the rucks. They just felt like so disruptive. And then I can recall the commentator saying, I think the occasion and the crowds got to the referee. Do you remember that?
Could be. But I think ruck time was okayish. But I mean, at the scrums, because one scrum, they pinging the loose head for dropping his bind or scrumming in. And then the next scrum, you get Frans Malherbe being pinged for, I can't even remember what it was. Also like illegal scrumming. I'm like, well, that's it. It just doesn't sit well all the time. We know the dark arts. We know the dark arts of the of the forward pack, especially coming up front. Bro. I mean, there were a few calls, but I mean that's the thing with the refs. The refs are normally backline oaks. Let's be honest. They got a little bit more pace, a little bit more,
Yeah.
So I always feel that it's a bit of a guessing game at the scrums.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, to think where scrums are now from, like, yes, remember when we were growing up, and I love watching old videos of guys packing down for a scrum. They literally just rock up there, like grip the guy next to them, and then it's just like, bah. And I mean, to think how far we've come, yes, all these forwards nowadays carry so much more weight, so impact's a lot greater, and it can have ramifications on guys and their backs and their necks. But I mean, like you say, the scrum time, it's got dark arts, and it's like you appreciate them as a spectator and someone who knows the game, and you almost want to see them, and then these refs come along and they like, excuse my French, but they fuck with the whole flow, and they like, yeah, I don't know, but it's one thing South Africa have mastered, and I think with Rassie and Jacques in charge, and I forgot who was Proudfoot. Matthew Proudfoot was
he's at England now though, but yes, he set that
yeah.
foundation.
I think their partnership from 2018, 2017 to about 2021. I think that's when Proudfoot was still involved. I think he gave the forward pack a lot of freedom in a way. He was like, you guys are there, but like there's nuance to the scrum.
Yeah.
And I think, especially in the last like 2 or 3 years, I think I've started to at least appreciate the scrum so much more as a spectator.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, I always love the scrum, just being prop myself. I mean, all of those dirty little tricks like the scrumming on an angle and all, it's they bamboozle the refs so easily nowadays, because I mean, it's literally just dropping your bind and going in. I mean, it looks like your opponent's going in on an angle, but you forcing him to go in on that angle.
Yeah.
And then he gets pinged. I mean, it's like I said, the dark arts. But that's the way it goes though.
Yeah. And then with while we're on the forwards, what do you make of our forward pack for the weekend? I'll let you chat first because I'm interested to hear your thoughts, and I know we've spoken about it briefly, but yeah, what do you make of that forward pack?
So, okay, I mean, I'm just gonna go through the forwards then. So we've got Kitshoff, Marks, Malherbe, Etzebeth, De Jager, Kulisi, Pieter-Steph, and Visa. That's, I mean, can't really get more solid than that. The one concern for me is probably Pieter-Steph after his injury. He just hasn't come back in the same vein that he always has been, if that makes sense. Like he's an absolute workhorse, and he does all of the dirty work and all of the grunt work, and I mean that goes unseen and things like that, but it just hasn't been the same that it normally is. I mean, if you look back at 2019 when he was World Player of the Year and everything, I mean, he was an absolute machine. But it just feels like the last year since his comeback, I mean, he just came back when in the Wales series or something.
Yeah.
And it just he hasn't looked as effective as he normally was. So
are you talking about output, yeah, or the way he plays the game? Are you, what are you referring
both.
to?
I want to say both. I mean, he's just, you can see he's still there, but I mean, if you look back at like 2019 and whatever, he always had these little passes going, and he was always in the right place at the right time, just getting rucks, just look, I mean, his tackle rate is phenomenal. He doesn't miss tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing about our loose trio. They don't miss tackles. I mean, you've got Kulisi, we'll touch on that now. I think he's having probably the season of his life.
I agree.
He's really come of age in the last few games. And then my fave, all the Asprey. I mean, come on. Stat for you. Not one game that Yas has started have we lost this year. The only games we have lost this year is when he didn't start, or he wasn't in the match 23. Those are the only games we have lost.
And I think that's testament to the guy. I think I remember Gerdus telling me about him, and I was interested and excited to see what we get from this youngster. And I mean, since his debut, I'm very happy with what he's doing, and I really like what he's giving us at the back of the scrum. I think
the thing is as well is
we've got a mold. We've got a mold in. We know what Dwayne gave us, and we know how successful that made us. And I think he fits that mold. Dwayne, I think, is leaving his prime now, and he's probably just off the pace of like a world class 8. But he'll still give you. I mean, you can still walk into probably any international side, but I think Jasper Visa is peak Dwayne, and it's something that's worked for us, and I think we were very fortunate in that, and that's probably why the Rus, what's it, Evan Rus?
Evan Rus, I have no idea why he hasn't been part of the squad anymore. It makes no sense to me.
I don't know why he hasn't been part of the squad, but I think that's why they're preferring Jasper over Rus, because I think while they're both young and agile and hardworking players, I think Jasper is a machine. He is. Wow.
100%. I agree with that. But Evan Rus, first year for South Africa in the URC, the United Rugby Championship / X, what was it, Pro 12 or Pro 14 or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Player of the year. Come on. You player of the year, your team wins the URC, and you get one start against Wales in the second test, and that's it. Come on. I mean, like Dwayne was coming back from an injury and all of that, so I understand in a way that they wanted to nurse Dwayne back into it, but I just feel they should.
Where do we put Evan? In a 23. In a 23 now, we're going to the World Cup because that's all they care about. We're going to the World Cup. Where do we put Evan? And at that level, it's cutthroat. And I agree, he's a good rugby player, but forwards is something South African rugby isn't short of. And if they've got a formula and a squad that's doing the business, where do you put Evan? Like, it's going to be disruptive. You've got to look at the whole. It's got to be holistic, and that's how I think they're looking at it.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got Kwagga on the bench, who's an absolute old quackster.
He's giving us so much.
Oh, he is so good off the bench. And the thing is, he can also, especially with the 6-2 split we're going for tomorrow. I mean, he gives you that added benefit that he can shift to the back line if needs be. If it really comes down to like, we've got problems, we don't have enough backline replacements, he can shift. He's got the gas, he's got the skill, he's got it all. But in saying that, I just feel like a year out from now, you're actually right, because where does Rus fit in?
You don't want to be disruptive. South African rugby said, Evan, you've played well. You deserve a cap. We need you around. You're going to win us World Cups in the future. Here's your cap. But in the greater scheme of things, I want to lift the Webb Ellis next year. And I think if you look at a squad, you don't want guys uncertain of their places if they don't have to. What made the New Zealand team the force they were is everyone rocked up each week. They know they did the business, and that's that. So you don't want guys uncertain of their place. If Jasper's the chosen 8 to get us the Webb Ellis next year, Jasper knows every day when he goes into his hotel room, he's going to do the business. He's our 8. Dwayne knows he's there to support Jasper. But then all of a sudden, it's Evan and Jasper the whole time. Like, they're not allowed to focus on their rugby because they've got to have one eye on if they stuff up.
Okay, so how's this for a little, just throwing it in there? With Pieter-Steph struggling, I know we've got Mostert that can cover lock and flank. But
Pieter-Steph light, as we like to say.
So I'm just thinking with Peter Steph struggling, wasn't this the perfect opportunity to perhaps maybe just shift Ivan Roos maybe to a flank or to 8th man and shift Jasper to 7 or something like that, just to see what that combination could do. Because, I mean, Ivan Roos is going to give you 110%. I mean, like all of the loose trio does. He brings something else. He brings a bit more pace and physicality as well.
Yeah.
I mean, with Jasper, you have the physicality, you have the you just have the explosiveness and the absolute bastardry of Jasper. I mean, that oak is an absolute, let's just call him what it is, bastard. Bro. When you check that out on the field, I mean, no nonsense, hard hitting. He
and that
will
little
give
moustache.
you the little police stash going there.
Yes.
Oh, get in. That is unreal. No, so I just feel like with Peter Steph, I know we're trying to probably play him into form or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just feel we might have missed a trick, not trying something different, just to see how it is. I know with Elrich Lowe, we tried when he came off the bench and things like that. But I mean, if you're giving Laoka off the bench role, it's different because they've got set things that they need to do. I would have just liked to see, but okay, saying all of these things, tomorrow is not the day to tinker around. We need to beat these Argentinians probably by a big margin.
Yeah.
So tried and tested, agreed, but in also saying all of these things, I don't know. I don't know if Peter Steph is in the right frame of mind or things like that, if he is up to full speed yet. But also saying that I don't see him as an oak that can come off the bench. I've never seen him really come off the bench. You know?
Yeah, I think he's a person that needs to get the pace of the game, and then he thrives.
Yeah, agreed. Because I mean, like it's the same with Dwayne. I mean, if you look at Dwayne,
we're gonna go asking a bun. Are we having burgers? What burgers? Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
How's it, Mareka? How are you doing?
Organizing dinner there.
Lovely.
No, well, just while we have this quick pause, I think for everyone's sake, get that fire going there in the background. Just give it a bit of life. I'm really enjoying looking at it.
Some extra nuance. Can you even light a fire there where you are now?
I think we are allowed to do it now. But there was a stage. I mean, the UK had quite a dry summer, and they actually issued warnings saying you're not allowed to light open fires. But I know
because it was a dry summer, you're not allowed to light a fire.
Yeah, I mean, when we went to go camp at Stonehenge, one of the rules were you couldn't have a barbecue, as they say.
No, but I mean, at Stonehenge, that makes sense. I mean,
no, we were camping at Stonehenge, camping near Stonehenge, and still, it's stones. They're not going to burn.
Fair enough. Stones won't burn.
But yeah, but I mean, getting back to it, I think Peter Steph has proven his worth, and I wouldn't bet against that at all. So my thing is 4 games on this tour, plus the 2, or tomorrow, 4 games on this tour, plus the 2 midweek games, plus I think there's like 3 Rugby Championship games next year.
Yeah, it should probably be a shortened one. So I'm guessing there'll only be 3 because I checked the fixture list. So after the end of year tour, the next game that has been shown is our opening Rugby World Cup game against Scotland.
So you see, it's close. I mean, as the management staff before next year's World Cup, they've got 1, 4, 5, 6, at most 10 games.
7. Well, I mean, it's 1 tomorrow, 4, 3. Yeah, you've got 8 games. Let's say 8 games. You've got 8 games to. But I mean, with Peter Steph, you know what you're getting, though. You know what you're getting.
But does the guy have a chance to find himself, because it's about confidence as well. Is he in the moment? He's got to know he's making the right decisions, and that only comes with trial and error. Because I wasn't a Peter Steph fan when he was younger. I wasn't.
Oh, really? I loved him at the Sharks, because he played. Remember, he played lock, hey, and he transitioned to flank.
Yeah, I wasn't a Peter Steph fan. I think I might have been late to the party, but I think when he established himself and he played good rugby down there for the Stormers at 7, then I was like, okay, this is good. And I think he himself got more confident in the game. At the Sharks, I remember he played with the scrum cap on. To me, he was just this lanky guy.
No, but that's because he was a lock, bro. I mean, he was a lock. But his transition to flank has been so good, though. I mean, you can't take that away. He was World Player of the Year in 2019. I can't badmouth ARG. He is an absolute piece of gold that we have in our arsenal. I just feel that we could have perhaps just checked what else we do have for in case he gets injured again, perhaps. I mean, okay, well, we checked Elrich Low. We haven't really checked Russ, so I just don't know. I just feel, well, it's the same probably in the New Zealand camp where a lot of Oaks are screaming out for RTS, old Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, to have started this game tomorrow for the All Blacks at inside center, but they've moved Geordie to, inside center and Bodie to the back. But we'll touch on that a little bit later. But
Cool. So to get back to it, so tomorrow's fixture, I think we do need that points difference to go up quite a bit, like you said earlier. But I think it's clear with the 8 that they've chosen that they're going to go out there and we're going to kick for corners and we're going to scrum maul these guys and say puss.
So one thing that I do want to say, and it's going to be, I cannot wait. Bronstein at 10. Come on. Quick little rundown on the back line. It's Jaden at 9. He's been unreal this year.
I've liked him. I have.
He's brought something else. You've got Franz Steyn at 10. First time in 14 years. He's only started one test at fly half for the box.
Harmless.
Make it harmless. Absolutely harmless. Then, I mean, the rest of them, old Makazoli, my Pyps, absolute ledge. You just give him the ball, he'll score a try.
And just on him quickly, I think he's got more fiery as he's established himself in the Bokke jersey. And I mean, for a man who maybe isn't the biggest person in the world, I've seen him exchange some verbals of late, and I quite like that as a spectator.
100%, bro. 100%. I mean, if you look at Makazole, I remember when he came to the Sharks after being at the Kings, I was looking at the Oak and I'm like, this Oak's good, but he always had hammy issues. And like, he doesn't get injured anymore. Touch wood. He doesn't get injured anymore. And he's just grown into that, and he is lethal on a finish.
Yeah.
I mean, barring a little Kurumbeti, let's call it Owen Farrell-esque tackle on him in the corner. I mean, when he gets the chance to score in the corner, he scores in the corner.
Yeah.
You know he's going to get it down. Yeah. And I mean, he's just grown into his role so well. I mean, he finishes it off, and in the air, I mean, that Oak just takes balls out of the air. It looks like a circus clown just clutching the juggles and all of that. Just so good.
Clutching the juggles.
I mean, I don't know what you call it. And then
keep going.
And then I mean, you've got Damien Dealenda, inside center. Just man mountain. He just always gets over the advantage line. Always.
So yeah, here's a shot. While we're on Damien, and I'm just going on 2022 now. and I know this is a big call, but I think he's probably played the most rugby out of everyone. Could we say that he's our player of the year?
No.
That was very quick
Plain
answer
and
there.
simple, no. He hasn't played the most. There's one name that we have to mention who has played the most minutes. It's Eben. Hands down. I think I'll have to go check, but I'm pretty sure Eben has played every minute of Test rugby.
No, he has
Well,
been
not every minute. He
substituted.
has been substituted, but I'm pretty sure he started every game this year.
Yeah, I think so. But let's stay on the back line now. We've already dissected the forwards, and I'm keen to get into the backs. But okay, maybe from my point of view, and it's not. I mean, you can't deny this the stuff Am's given us. But just from our point of view, I think the Islanders' consistency, his ability to consistently give you that 7 or 8 performance has definitely it's improved. I think he was in the past, he was like he'll win you a game, but then the next game he goes missing. And I think his level of consistency and what you get week in, week out has improved immensely.
I'm going to agree with that 100%. And in that last game against Australia, and also the last week's game against Argentina, I mean, when he scored that try against Australia, did you see how pumped up he was? He was like pumped as hell. And then last week, I mean, that second last try that he scored just set up the grandstand finish that we were looking for. And then Malcolm Marx did what Malcolm Marx does and scored a try in the corner there. But okay, I agree, Damien, he's elevated his game. It looks like his hands are getting better as well. He's always just known as an oak that just runs and just makes meters and gets over the advantage line. But I feel that slowly he's bringing more little nuances into his game, getting the hands flowing, getting the oaks into space, things like that. I feel that's happening. And look, he's probably bar our best backline player of the year. I agree with that. I agree with that. Jesse at outside center. How do you feel about it? I don't like it. I don't like it.
He has a talking point. Now, I think, and I'm just going to put this out there, I would love to hear people's thoughts on Jesse after we've had our chance to dissect it, because I think this is an interesting debate. While, I mean, a man of 50 plus tests, you can't deny that he's seen some things. He's been in the change room. He's been in the mix. But for me, I think what he gave us at the start of his career, and
unreal. He was so good when he started out.
Absolutely. But it goes back to that discussion we had the other day, where I think the role of the 12 in SA Rugby has changed a bit. And I think
the 13.
No, the 12.
Yeah.
Because remember when he came onto the floor, onto the scene, his 12, I think, was Jean de Villiers.
Jesse. At the box it was John de Villiers. Where did Jesse played at this? No, it wasn't
Bulls. Always the Bulls.
It was always the Bulls. Who were the inside? I can't remember. It was Jan Sanfontaine.
Jan.
Oh,
but that's what I'm saying. So I think the role of the 12 in South African rugby has changed somewhat, because we use the 12 to set up quick ball for phases now, whereas I think in the past the 12 was your second pivot. And I think we got more from Jesse in an attacking sense when he was the ball carrier. But I think in this day and age, with the Islander at 12, we're seeing him crash balling a lot of the time, and then your 13 becomes a pivot. And I don't think Jesse is a pivot. I think he's a ball carrier. He's a ball carrier and he's a defender.
His hands are also quite shocking, let's be honest. I mean, you don't see him doing the little offload or the little pass into space that often.
That's the thing. I agree. He was the person getting put away into space to score the try.
Correct.
I
And
can
he could
just
do
remember.
that. He could do
Remember
that.
remember that sick try he scored against New Zealand all those years ago? I know that I think he got put away, or he like bumped a few guys and he got over the try line, and I think it was a crucial try for South Africa, and it was in New Zealand. But I can just remember him when he was getting put away, he was the bee's knees. But nowadays, I mean, I personally don't think I would have gone with Jesse and Allender tomorrow.
Who would you have gone with, John? Please tell me who you would have gone with at center then. If we can't have Jesse and the Allender, who would you have gone with?
Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry about that. My dad was just giving me an update. He's helping me with some crypto stuff.
Hey, some crypto, bro.
Yeah. The bullet of 72 is doing the business for his son. But getting back to it, I think
Mr.
is
Krill.
Damien Willems injured?
Yeah, he's got concussion, so he's out for 2 weeks. Just precautionary with the new laws and things. If you have concussion or slight concussion or whatever, you have to be out for 2 weeks at least. So it's a precautionary thing that they have to do. So yeah, we'll only see him back at the end of year tour.
Because I've got to be honest, at the moment, in a pivot like role, in an ideal world I probably would have tried staying there or something like that. But we need staying at 10. We do need staying at 10 this weekend, and I think his kicking game's going to help us. Just the new way South Africa plays rugby, I think Steyn would have been nice to have at 13 because he can carry it up and he can put Oaks away. But
he doesn't have the gas to be at 13 though. Not anymore.
I think he's got the gas of the mark, but I don't know if he's got the legs to play a full game at 13 maybe. But you know what? Looking back now, I think my comment was a bit hasty. I think in terms of what South African rugby has available at the moment, Jesse probably is the best guy for the job. I just don't think he's the perfect guy for the job. I mean, I've probably come into this conversation a bit light in terms of what we have in the bank. I know Estaisen's around again, but I don't know. Cheers, cheers, cheers. That looks delicious.
The good stuff, my bro, the good stuff.
No, I need to get one for our next video, but yeah, I can't say that I know of too many others we could have put at 13. And yourself?
So I mean, you've got the you've got the option of putting probably Esthuizen at 12 and shifting Dialenda to 13. Look, I mean, in terms of the squad that we have at the moment, no, there's no one else that we can use except Jesse. Look, I really hope the Oak performs. We need him to perform. We need him to get back to his best. Let's be honest. We're going into World Cup next year. We need the Oak to perform. I am very interested. I know the Sharks are playing against Zebra at the moment, and there's a certain number 13 that's signed for the Sharks this season, coming back from England, Ruan Janse van Rensburg.
Yeah.
Very interested to watch the highlights after this to see how his actual performance has been. Look, centers has always been, we've had two great centers, and then whoever replaces them is normally a bit of a downgrade. Let's call it a downgrade. Just
I mean, Jacques Fourie, Jean de Villiers, and then you had AD Jacobs. Well, he was good.
You had AD Jacobs, or you had Wynand Olivier.
Exactly. I mean, they're good. You can't deny the fact that they're good, but they're not your first choice, and it's clear. No. And I think Jesse isn't our first choice, although you said something that's quite interesting. Perhaps we could have gone with a Jesse at 12 and a Dialenda at 13 for this game, because I think Dialenda's vision and his ball playing ability has improved.
It has, but then I would rather put Esthuizen at 13, because if you check him in the Gallagher Premiership last season, I mean, with Marcus Smith at fly half, him at inside, his hands was unreal. His reading of the game was unreal. I feel the Oak, look, he's still, I think, a top quality player. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was close to being their player of the year for the the Harlequins.
Which funny story about the Harlequins. So last night I was having a few with my colleagues, and I've now adopted Harlequins as my club, because apparently Saracens are a bunch of cants.
Really, Saracens have got a lot of, well, they've got a lot of suffers, but I mean, nah.
But the British don't like Saracens. Everyone that I asked asked about Saracens last night, unless they were supported, they're like, no, they're dodgy. They had a massive scandal there regarding fees and what they're paying players. But listen, let's get back to it. Let's not digress too far. I think unless you want any closing remarks surrounding Jesse Creel, I'd like to round off by saying that
I think we've covered enough. Look, let's see what happens, but he needs a performance. He needs a big performance.
Yeah, I echo that.
On defense, he is good. He doesn't make mistakes on defense really, except when he runs into Caleb Clark's knees. Otherwise, he's fine, bro. He's solid. Let's say you're not getting something flashy. You're getting solid.
You're not disappointed.
Yeah, well, you are disappointed. Let's be honest. You're a little bit disappointed because you want more. Because you're getting used to who is at the moment, my humble opinion, probably if he didn't get injured would have been IRB World Player of the Year. He has just been he's been on a different level this year. He's been unreal.
And he's only got 9.5 fingers. So like imagine if he had 10 fingers.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did really not know that. All right. But okay, let's move on. So Canan Moody on wing.
Didn't know the guy. I didn't know the guy, but
I had no idea who he was. I'll be honest. I did not watch a lot of URC last year. Well, let's be honest. I don't watch a lot of Bulls rugby. Just as a Shark supporter, they've hurt me too many times. I didn't see him playing against the Sharks when they did play last season, but what a find. We have so much talent on the wings. It's actually scary.
We do.
If you think about it, Cheslin Colby not playing, still out.
Yeah.
That's your number one. Kurtley Orense. Unreal. What a debut until he made an error in judgment, got a red. Cheers, check you in 4 weeks or 4 games time.
Yeah.
Caden Moody, wow. 19-year-old Lighty, bro. France Steinesque on his debut, scoring an absolute belter, making Coram Betty look like a child.
Yeah.
Grasping that out of the air. I feel the commentators could have done a bit more to bring that up to a level. Yeah, I could have brought it up to a level that would have been a little bit more expected. Let's call it that. Look, he's solid. You're gonna get a solid game from him. He can step. He's got gas. He can take balls out of the air. He defends well. I see no issues there.
And Pimpy.
I mean, the backline is sorted. Except, no, like I said, we just need JC to perform. Then let's move on to the notorious Willie Leroux. I mean, you will always be divided.
You love him, you hate him.
You love to hate him. It is what it is. I mean, the Oak, attacking wise, has got the vision, the crispy pass of very few other. He's the leading try assist man. Oh, I don't know what you call them. He's the leading try in the competition. He's got the most try assists. So you know he can create.
He's the Ozil of SA Rugby.
He's the 2014 Ozil of SA Rugby most of the time, but then he's got also the defensive skills of Ozil. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. You love to hate him. He's the Ozil of SA Rugby.
His tackle technique is not up there. That's what I like about Damien at fullback, is he's so solid. You know he's making the hit. I mean, even against New Zealand, when Caleb Clark burst through, and everyone's like, I mean, myself included, I was like, oh, here we go again. Try time in the corner. Damien chases him down, tackles him. This was the game in Nelspruit. You're sure Shannon Frizzell scores. Not Damien's fault. Damien did what he had to do. And it was unreal defense. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
We haven't had a solid fullback since Pat Lambie, Franz Steyn, back in 2014, 2015, that era, probably. Willie is very much an attacking fullback. He makes the hits sometimes, but I just feel we need more on defense from him.
I think my stance on Willie is, I wasn't a supporter, or not a supporter. I wasn't a huge fan of Willie, but I think Chasing the Sun helped me really realize how valuable he is, the documentary that was made. But I think getting understanding of the players and what they bring to the side, and you can't have 15 players that are exactly the same. You've got to have players that complement each other, and I think Willie is one of those players. He might not be he's a complementary player. And his stats about try assists, which you brought to the table now, is great stats on your part. Good work, Pyps. But
sorry about just adjusting the fire there.
Yeah. No, I think Willie gets the 15 jersey for me more often than not.
There's only one Oak that I would replace it with at the moment, and that's Franz Steyn. I'll be honest. I'm a big Franz Steyn fanboy. I'm not even gonna try and lie about it. I absolutely adore the Oak.
You can't be a SA Rugby purist like we claim we are and not be a Franz Steyn fanboy. The only thing that France has done to hurt us is his hiatus from SA Rugby for all those years.
Not his own fault. Not his own fault. We won't get into that. Let's not get into that. That's a discussion for maybe one day. Maybe one day. Who knows? Let's see where this goes. But no.
Yeah.
Franz Steyn. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just the Boyke. I mean, you
he
can check
is.
the playing for the Cheetahs, going back to Bloom after being in France all those years, whatever, going back there, committing to the Cheetahs. They get kicked out of the Pro 14. He's still like, you know what? I'm sticking with these Oaks. They my O's. He's got his farms or whatever there in Bloom area. Oak from Bethlehem. I mean, Bethlehem, I know the place well. Always did some athletics, some tennis, some
Yeah.
rugby, some cricket, all of that in Bethlehem. I mean, he's just a Boyke, and you can check the Oak. Look, the one thing about France is his love and his passion for the game is unmatched. You don't see that absolute passion. Well, you do
Yeah.
see it, but not the way that he's what, 35 or 34 or whatever he is now. He's still, you can check when he has that jersey on. Oh, you know he's going to perform.
No, he gives it 110%. And I mean, if we take him to next year's World Cup, I honestly didn't think we were going to do that, but I think he's definitely in the fold now, and he's going to be
He's in the
going.
fold. He has to be there. He covers all positions except wing nowadays. He covers it all. Has to go. Absolutely has to go. And that's just I know we don't want to touch on the forwards again. We really haven't run through the replacements or whatever, but like even if you look at Dwayne, I think Dwayne is going to be a Skulk Brits mold, but
Yeah.
not really in the sense that he will have to fulfill the Francois Low mold for coming on in the last 15, being an
Okay.
absolute, being a calm head, making the crucial one or two steals.
Yeah.
I can see Dwayne transitioning now in his twilight of his career to that mold. Because
That's very well said. Very
the
well
thing
said.
is, Brie, and I've checked it. So when he played, who was it, against Australia or whatever, first time ever in 63 caps coming off the bench. First time ever. He's always
Shit.
started. Always started. First time he's come off the bench. But he needs to take that Francois low mold because we need that calm heads. That's what makes the bomb squad or whatever what they are. It's calm heads. It's Oaks that come on, know how to close out the game. Look, against Argentina last weekend, it got dicey. Let's be honest. It got dicey. We did the video call and watched that together. It was shaky. When it went to 2022,
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit shaky. I'm not going to
We
lie.
were, we
Then
both, we
Bielenda did
both
what he
were.
did.
It was unexpected.
And that's where you can see the youngsters, when they come on, they love it. They give it their all. But it's those small margins, those small things that you can't buy experience.
Yeah.
Just you can't. And
Those
that's where it comes into the fold.
those calmer heads that know, like you say, that what the opposition doesn't want to be doing at that part of the match, and yeah, playing it like that. Yeah, well, I think we've covered the 15. The
I'm excited for the
the
bench
bench
tomorrow.
tomorrow. The
I'm
bench
very
tomorrow, we've
excited.
gone
So
for a 6-2 split.
we've gone for the classic 2019 bomb squad. We've got Bongi's coming back after a 4-week injury or 5-week injury. I'm very glad. Solid, absolutely solid as a rock.
Yeah.
Can't ask for someone else to. You can't drop Malcolm Marks at the moment. Play the full 80 last week. Look, we need to keep the Oak going. He's probably the best hooker in the world. It is what it is. Let's be honest. Bongi is very close to that, but Marks just brings that extra dimension and that extra.
Yeah.
I mean, put on Bongi and take off one of the flankers. Put Marks on flank. I don't care. He needs to stay on for the full 80. He's proven it time and time and time again.
Yeah.
Then we've got Ox. Oh, what a monster. I love Ox. He is a great scrummer. He runs the ball. He's solid ball carrier, makes the hits. We find there. Then we've got Vincent Koch returning as the tight head replacement in the place of Clever Trevor. Look, clever Trevor. Look, what I like about our props, you can just rotate them. You can rotate them
Very
whenever,
life
wherever.
for life.
You know what you're getting. They're going to come up. They're not going to make mistakes. They're going to be solid. Then, so that's our 18, 19. We've got Mustard. No, 19.
Ulrich Low.
No, Low's out of the match day 23 for tomorrow. We've got
Dwayne.
No, Franco Mustard. That's right. Dwayne is our number 20, and then we've got Kwacha as well. So, look, I mean, what that says to me, I don't think we're going to replace the full loose trio. It's probably going to be Peter, Steph, and Jas getting sacrificed, I think.
No, Sia tends to get yanked. He gives a good 60.
He does, but in saying that, I feel just tomorrow we need to prove it's Heritage Day in South Africa tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
It's time to show the guys and the girls around the world.
Yeah.
We're here to stay. We're going to make some big noise tomorrow.
Durban's going to be a proper vibe tomorrow, I think, with the rugby on Heritage Day. I think it's going to be a proper jaw.
It is going to be wild. Very bleak that I missed out on a ticket there. Won't go into details. No need to do that. Look, I feel tomorrow's the day that we need to keep Sia on the field for the full 80. Look, whoever empties the tank first, they need to get yanked. But I just feel Peter Steph doesn't normally get yanked, but I just feel where we at, and as we've discussed earlier, I feel he needs to get yanked tomorrow, depending on how he plays, though. No disrespect or anything like that. I mean, yes, he's going to come off, and Dwayne's probably going to come on those last 10-15 minutes.
I can see Lut getting pulled, and then they pair up Mostert with Evan. I think we've got a full loose trio that we can bring on, and a full front row. So there, they're
either going to pull Lut or Eben, one of the two. Lut, let's just quickly touch on that. Unreal this year. You know what? The Oak has been in unreal form. He has really stepped up his game to a new level. His ball carrying abilities, his running lines. As we discussed a week or two ago, Eben with he's not the Eben of old. Let's be honest. He's evolved this game into something that I really like to watch.
He's a general.
The little
like a Nathan Sharp. He's a Nathan Sharp-esque vibe about his demeanor and his mentality.
He's got a way to go to get to that type of offloading and things. I told you this earlier as well. I feel that he's he's becoming a bit of a Skalkberger-esque in his offloading game. Eben, not with his long passes or things, but the little offloads and things. It's very Skalkberger-esque, putting the Oaks into space, but then also whenever they go for the Oak that's in the space, just hit it up. And he's just evolved this game into a different level at the moment.
He definitely has.
It's something that I've picked up this year, that you can see he's worked on it. The little offloads, and it's beautiful to watch. There's very few things as a forward ourselves, watching other forwards just putting Oaks into space, hitting it up. I mean, he's keeping the guys guessing, because I think his game got quite stale-ish in a way, where he was just hitting it up for every time he got the ball. You know what Evan's going to do? He's going to smash into you. Now, just does a little offload, draws one or two defenders, and you put someone else over the advantage line.
Actually makes his ball carrying more effective, because now they're not 100% in the tackle.
So if people drop off for the offload, he takes the contact, but if people don't drop off, he offloads. And you can see that. I mean, that one try against Australia where Sous old Mustard went in the corner, was Eben offloading to Malcolm Marks on the angle, made the quick ball, gave it to Yas. Yas did a little pop. I mean, that was absolutely beautiful, and that's you can see that's coming into the game. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. Then, I mean, moving on to the backs, we've got Prince Charming himself, old Fuff. What a Jack Russell. So I think I don't know why we've gone for the 6-2 split with France at 10. It's going to be quite interesting to see, but I know that Fuff can cover fly half as well.
It's a kicking based. I think we're going to play all the game in their territory. There's not, we're turning their forwards every single time tomorrow.
We've got France staying.
They're gonna say, do your 50-22s, get us ball, we get a penalty. He's gonna bomb it an absolute mile.
Well, that's the thing as well. With France at 10, you have the option. I mean, you can bomb it into a 50-22 situation, but also if he can identify the space and see that the wingers are hanging back for the kick, send it out wide. Give it to Kanan Mooded. Give it to my Pyps. Let the Oaks run at the look. Let's be honest.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword, and we, in all probability, going to have to score a lot of points tomorrow. It all depends on the game that we'll quickly discuss after this. The All Blacks versus Australia. I've looked at that team. There's a lot of attacking threat in the New Zealand backline. But just finishing up, I mean, Kurtley Orange at 23, bring the Oak on. He's got some dancing feet. He's got some magic in those shoes. He's shown in that one test against the All Blacks what he can do. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with the team.
I think the big question before we touch on the New Zealand game, and then I've got to duck for dinner in a little bit. I think let's round it off now. And what is your prediction? Because now this is going to hold. So I've got my prediction written down here.
Okay, so one thing that I want to say before we get to that. So playing in Durban, Hollywood Bets Kings Park.
Yeah.
The official capacity that it can take, they say, is 52,000. So they've sold 47,000 tickets. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Not sure about the 52 though as well. It's a big stadium. Let's be honest. South African stadiums are big. So it's going to be raucous. It's going to be pro South African. There is, you're going to see a lot of brewery rolls going around. You're going to see a lot of beer flowing. It's Heritage Day in South Africa. Kickoff at 5:05 Central African time.
The script is written.
The script is written. So quick little stat for you. We've played Argentina, let's say from 2013 in Durban twice before. 2015, first time ever Argentina beat South Africa in South Africa. 25-37. Argentina had a little hat-trick hero on the day, Juan Imhoff. So he's back into the starting side. I know a lot of Oaks have touched on it, saying like he's only back because of what he's done previously. No, he's been rotated with. I see Argentina have rotated their left wing pretty much all season long. But I think it's got to play a little bit on the mind there. 2018, we went also into Durban, beat them 34-21. I mean, in that game, we saw brace from my Pyps. So, hey, it's his home stadium. We can see some fire going there. We've got as ref Damon Murphy from Australia. Haven't seen too much of the Oak. I don't really know. We'll see what happens there. Then we've got Frank Murphy. How's it, Marika? How are you?
He's just unloading stats.
Just unloading some stats. Then we've got Frank Murphy from Ireland. We've got Andrea Piardi from Italy as the ARs, the assistant refs, and Chris Hart as the TMO. Look, it's going to be spicy. Let's be honest. This game is going to hinge exactly on what happens in the morning game between Australia and New Zealand.
What is that? What needs to happen in that game?
So do you want the permutations? What South Africa need to do?
Give me the permutations.
It's very simple. I'll be honest. I looked at it. I've been looking at it quite a while. So we both locked on 14 points, ourselves and New Zealand. One win. So that's locked as well. Points differential, New Zealand's on 41 positive. We on 28. So they've got 13 points on us. And then points difference, South Africa versus New Zealand. New Zealand -4, we +4. So in terms of how it works, if it goes down to all of this, most wins will win or most points will win at the end of the day, and then it goes to most wins. So if we both win, it's 4-4. Then it goes to most wins against the other opposition. It's 1-1 there, so that's tied as well. Then it goes to points difference. So let's say New Zealand win by 2 points to make it +43, and we win by 15 points, and we both on +53. Then it goes down to difference versus the other team, where we have the edge. So all of these things considered, it's all going to depend what we're going to see in that Australia-New Zealand game, which I feel is going to be absolute fire. Look, New Zealand are going in with the mindset, I think, that they need the bonus point. They know they need the bonus point. It is the Bledisloe Cup. Yes, they've won it again for the 20th or 21st year in a row. I think the last time Australia won it was back in 2001 or 2002. So
it's been over 2 decades.
It's been a long time. So they're playing at Eden Park, capacity of about 50,000. Kickoff is 5 minutes past 9 Central African time. New Zealand time, it's at 5 minutes past 7 in the evening. I don't know what you guys are on there in
5 past 8. 5 past 8. Time of the Queen.
Okay. Good. So look, another little stat for you: 47 matches unbeaten at Eden Park, New Zealand. Stretching back to 1994, where they lost to, I think it was France. Previous game, Australia absolutely binned it by being idiots. Let's be honest. Everyone's like, oh, controversial. Ref warned them more than once. I can't defend that. They had the opportunity. Just kick it out, get the ball. You could have wasted 20 seconds walking to the line out. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
It's chalk and cheese. Don't be stupid. So they crying. Also, what I told you is, they got the scrum. Scrum them. Get the scrum penalty. Tackle them. Tackle them out. I mean, come on. Too many excuses from the Australians on that one. I don't feel it was very controversial. Yes, we haven't seen it in a long time. Yes, a precedent might have been set, but anyway, we've got the ref, Andrew Brace from Ireland. Good ref. I think he's going to make the match flow a lot more than our friend Matthew Reynal from France did. Matthew Reynal as one of the assistant refs, as well as Pierre Brousset from France as well. And then we have the classic Ben Whitehouse, not actually all the way from America, Wales, Ben Whitehouse. He's going to be the TMO there. Look, that game is going to probably have a big bearing on what the Boks are going to do tomorrow. I feel that the Boks will have whatever it takes, depending on the score against Australia, New Zealand. Look, if New Zealand go and they absolutely blow Australia out of the water,
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Australia are hurting from last week, and I think that works in our favor. So I think there's going to be a little bit of passion in the Aussies tomorrow. And look, I don't think they're going to turn New Zealand over at Eden Park. That's for sure. Tomorrow, New Zealand are going to win, but Australia, there's going to be fight. and
Look, let's
gonna
be honest here. We want, if New Zealand win, we don't want them to get the bonus points so that we can go out and show the Oaks, you know what, we're here, we're ready, we're going to smash the RGs. It's going to be difficult. Look, my predictions, quickly coming to those. New Zealand, Australia, I think New Zealand by probably about 10. I really hope that the Australians can show some faith for us. They're hurting, as you mentioned. I really hope they can kick in and make sure that the New Zealanders don't get a bonus point. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Look, New Zealand have a very attacking side. Let's be honest. It can go either way. If Australia get their discipline in order, because they had a lot of yellow cards last weekend.
Yes, they did.
If they get their discipline in order and they get their game plan flowing and things, the All Blacks are still vulnerable. They're still vulnerable. Let's be honest. They haven't had the best season.
2022 has wounded them a little bit. It's exposed them. They're not the conquistador they once were.
100%. And the thing is, look, they're going to try and put on a show for the New Zealand crowd. 100%, but it could be a double-edged sword. It could be very dangerous. Australia are no pushovers. They never are. They've got a lot of pride. They are hurting. They want to prove a point. They want to beat the All Blacks. Let's be honest. If Argentina beats the All Blacks, you want to beat the All Blacks. Come on.
Exactly.
So,
and I think it would be awesome for rugby if they were able to pull that off. It would be a hell of a thing for the Rugby Championship just to see that the Southern Hemisphere competition is just so up in the air, and it would make me licking my lips, or it would leave me licking my lips for next year's competition.
100%. So yeah, like I said, my prediction: New Zealand by 10. I know the bookies and all of those guys got New Zealand by, I think, 15. Two tries not going to be enough. New Zealand need to score 3 more tries to get that bonus point. The bonus point is going to be crucial. Let's be honest. It's going to be, I believe, the deciding factor in who wins this championship. Your prediction, Australia, New Zealand. What are you thinking?
So I think the Aussies are going to come with a bit of fire. I'm going to say New Zealand by 12.
Okay.
So similar to you, when I say the Aussies are going to come with fire, they're going to quell them getting the bonus point. But
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So okay.
But I don't see them getting the victory. And then moving on to the SA game now. I've had a bit of time to think, and I've got something on a piece of paper here. I think we're going to do the business, and it's going to be 41-10 to the Bokke tomorrow.
Ooh, that's a big shot. 31-point margin. Look, I mean, I think it's going to be very similar to last week, in the sense that Argentina, they're going to be good one half, they're not going to be good the other half. I feel that they're very inconsistent at the moment. Look, Michael Cheika is going to be up for it. He's going to show the Oaks, like, guys, we need to push these blocks. I need to quickly take a 2-second break, and I'll be back with you just now.
We got 5 minutes. To those of you who may have joined us for this first-time broadcast of Still Working on a Name, thank you very much for staying this far.
Apologies. Okay, so what I'm thinking, look, it's like I said, it's all going to depend on the Australia-New Zealand game. I'm going to be honest. Whatever New Zealand put up against Australia, I think with it being Heritage Day, with it being the first time since 2019 we can take this again. Look, we've also got a lot of stick this year, let's be honest. Oaks have been shooting, it's not the box of all and this and that. the last 2 games, we've seen the guys starting to change up the game plan. There's been more spatial awareness, things like that.
Yeah.
I've got real high hopes. So whatever New Zealand put up for us to chase, I think we can. Look, we've beaten Argentina before. We scored over 70 points. We can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was with a JJ Engelbrecht team back in the day in 2013. So, look, I think whatever happens in the first game, South Africa will do what they need to do. They'll do the business. I'm going, so what I said, New Zealand by 10. So I'm going box by at least 25. I'm thinking it's going to be close to a score of about 40. Let's say 40-15, somewhere around there. The defense will have to stand up, but yeah, I think the Oaks have what it takes. I think we want to prove a point. We will champs. Come on.
Yeah.
We need to show the guys when it matters. We can do the business. That's what we did last week. Let's be honest. We went very close. They were running us close in that second half, and we
just proved our medal.
We pulled it out of the fire. Let's be honest. We pulled it out of the fire, and we did what we had to do. We got the bonus point to give us the opportunity to actually win this thing. Let's go, boys. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Let's go, Bokke.
As we say here, we'll check all of the angles. Pyps will know what to do. It is what it is. But yeah, I think the boys have what it takes. And we hopefully going to be celebrating with some sweet nectar after this game. It's in Durban, where I'm stationed at the moment. Where you're from? Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think, look, Durban's been a buzz this whole week. Cool. Sold out crowd. It's going to be raucous. I just feel that the RGs won't be able to handle us. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I just hope this rain that is currently falling does not stick around, because that could ruin a beautiful game. But I think look, I've looked at the weather forecast and things. It looks like it should be okay tomorrow. And yeah, vat hom soos 'n Vrydag. Let's go to the Bokke.
Unbelievable.
That's what we want to see.
But yeah, Gert, always a pleasure. I think first one done. Let's see where this thing goes, and I'll see you on the other side. Do you want to end the recording now?
Oh, John, always an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I know you've only been over there now for the last 3 months. I mean, that's why we also started doing this. Let's be honest. It was one of the things we just used to do, have a good chat on a Friday about the upcoming ringers. I mean, it's not very often that you still find Oaks that have the passion for the game like this. It's nice to always chat about the game and actually go into some depth.
Exactly.
And see what we think. All our own opinions. Let's put it out there and let's see what happens. Maybe people will enjoy it, maybe they don't. I don't really care at the moment, I'll be honest. Just always an absolute pleasure to have a good old chat.
Always a pleasure.
That's the way. That's the way.
What's it? You end the recording first, quickly. Just so we know that that's captured or done.